Hi, everyone. Welcome to the mid-month Healthy Tips for Tails. And this week's episode is about love and its role in healing. Yesterday was Valentine's Day, and I'd like to know if your animal family gave you a Valentine's, or if you gave one of your animal family or all of your animal family a Valentine's. So Valentine's Day is representative of love, not only romantic love, but love in general. And we definitely need love right now in the universe with everything going on. So what I'd like to talk about today is I'd like to talk about the role of love in healing. And recently at a house call with one of my patients, whose picture you'll see soon, I was with Dr. Rob Erdeman, and we were doing a joint session. And Rob was there. I was doing the energy work at this point, and Rob was sitting there. And at the end of what I was doing, I said, Rob, do you want to add anything? And he looked at me and he says, I think Lila just appreciated the fact that I was here and that I brought love to the session. And so we started to talk about how animals and humans, and probably everything on the planet, benefits from the being there with love and being there with a wonderful feeling emanating from you and your attention and your time. So the currency of right now, the most important currency I feel, is time. And having time and giving love is what we're about. So what I'd like to start out with is to remind you that in the 5 elements or the 5 phases, each of the organ systems, each of the elements carries with it a gift. So the gift of the water, which is the kidney, is to give reassurance. The gift of the metal, which is the lung, is to give acknowledgement. The gift of the earth, which is the spleen and the stomach, is sympathy. The gift of the wood, which is the liver and gallbladder, is to give direction. And the gift of the heart and the fire is to give connection. So each of us is tentatively going back into the world right now after an almost 3-year hiatus for many of us, with isolation and loneliness, or just being with self and finding ways of being with self that's more comfortable. And now we're being asked to move forward in the world and to help the world move forward. And we're going out. And what we're seeking is connection, reassurance, sympathy, acknowledgement, and direction. So we're asking all of the organ systems. And love is especially connected with the heart. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to share the screen right now and bring you a little slideshow of the role of love in healing. So sharing the love is about connection. It's about play and exercise. And I'm talking about with you and your animal family, or your animals between them. The sharing the love as sleeping buddies, being able to touch and to feel another being. Our animal family gives us companionship in nature and at home. Our animals, our animal family, are comedians and gymnasts, and they accompany us. And of course, the animals are conversationalists. So what we give to them and what they give to us is a combination. We share listening, we share acceptance, we share trusting, and we share being there because we are one. And as long as there's a them and an us, there's a separation. And what I'm feeling is that after all of this time, that I'm really recognizing and feeling that we are one with the animals. So this is Lila. This is the wonderful 13-year-old plus who belongs to one of our group, Kathy. And Lila is everybody's best friend. And Lila shares a house with a number of other Weimaraners, and Lila is the boss. And she just has to look at everybody, and they know, they stay away. And Lila has been a companion with Kathy for a long time. They've been together a long time. And Lila had some issues with urinary tract. She had some issues with her back, with her neck. And all of a sudden, Kathy called and said, Lila can't walk. She can't get up. And what ensued was several weeks of helping Lila to come back to herself. And the steadfast thing was we kept asking Lila, do you want to stay? And she kept saying yes. And Kathy's love and being there and friendship says, as long as she wants to do this, I'm willing to do this. And I came and Rob Erdeman came, we went there together, and Lila is doing much better. She's back in her body. She can stand now for short periods of time, and we don't know, but it's the love that's keeping everything going. This is Hallelujah the runner. And Hallelujah lives with my friend Susie, also part of the group. And Hallelujah doesn't stand still. She runs back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. She's on the ranch. And this is Hallelujah when she's inside and resting. So what does that expression tell you? There's definite love and trust, even though she's on her way to run. This is Gracie and Karen. So Karen's the human and Gracie is the wonderful dog. Gracie is almost 15 years old. Karen doesn't know exactly because Gracie came to her when she was probably about 3 years old. And Gracie has been my patient and friend for a really long time. And Gracie gives love to everybody. When she's in the dog park, she goes up to everybody and everybody loves her. In the house, she's the connector. So probably she acts as the fire triple heater and the heart connection and the pericardium connection. And she recently had a big tumor removed from her shoulder. And man, Ms. Gracie is a star. This is Gibson, who's out sunning himself. And Gibson is a feral cat who you can touch sometimes and will now sleep with the person, but doesn't live inside, only when necessary. And you can see the love and the trust that they'll just lay there in the sun. This is Alma. And Alma with her birthday cake. Boy, Alma, look at how at attention she is. And you know that she's just dying to eat that birthday cake. And now she's allowed to, and they all had fun. Happy birthday, Alma, happy birthday, Alma. And this is Cody, who's relaxing, who you saw last week or a couple of weeks ago when I showed the Gall Bladder Meridian and the triple heater Meridian. And this is Cody, who's relaxing at home. And look at the love in his eyes. We also have the animals as farm buddies. This is Hobo. And Hobo lives on the farm with Hallelujah and my friend Susie. And Hobo is truly a senior, and he's a rock star. When my horse Peppy stayed there, he was a gentleman and brought her into the herd. And Hobo is an amazing dude who's probably close to high 20s at this point. And Hobo is a wonderful companion. This is the lesser known chicken leg, Swan's cousin. I just had to put that in. And this is Sweetie. And Sweetie is another wonder at the ranch as a farm bud. We next have the sleeping buddies, Mason and Cookie. So look at Mason and Cookie and look at the trust and the connection that's between them. And when I see these pictures, my heart goes out. I hope yours does too. This is Andre and Scooter. And these animals have raised the kids. These are the boys sleeping together. this is a new addition to one of the groups, Susan's group in Texas. And tell me, who's relaxing more, Susan or the dog? This is Charlie on the shoulders. And I couldn't decide who is the accessory, the dog or the human. The animals are also comedians and gymnasts. Mr. Lucas in the bag. And I have to give a shout out to Mr. Lucas, who passed just a couple of weeks ago with my heart. And Lucas went through a lot in his short life, and he finally succumbed to a blood clot. And we're really sorry to have him gone, but while he was here, he brought amazing joy and love to the household and to the world. This is Mr. Max, who you remember had the stem cell procedure, and he had a hard time walking initially. But this is him coming for acupuncture, and they have to hold him back because he's ready to just jump on everything. And this is a guy who's a tremendous gymnast. This is the deer walking down the stairs, ready to leap or just being able to walk down those stairs. And this is Alma dancing with my nephew, Jacob. And look, Alma is actually taller than Jacob. We also have the conversationalists. This is me and Peppy. Now, what do you think we're saying? And who do you think has the last word? And then, of course, you saw this with Nick. And Nick is, we're going to just play this right here, just a little bit of it.
Thank you so much. This is what you do. You're a great accessory cat, especially after big storms that you like to go out in. You come home and you lay your wet body wherever you can.
So Nick is always talking. I actually had to lock him out of the room because he would have just been talking throughout this whole video. So that's the roles that we're going to stop the share right now. So that's the roles that our animals play with us. And the role of love. What is the role of love between you and your animals? Who and how are you healing each other? The purpose of these videos and this whole series is a self-help to help you and your animals communicate better and to create love and health and healing in the universe. So I'd like to end this by just showing you the pericardium meridian. And the pericardium is the heart protector. It sits around the heart physically, and it accepts the first blows of any kind of trauma from the outside world. So the heart meridian starts at the side of the pericardium starts at the side of the nipple, goes under the arm, and goes down the inside of the arm. So here it's the inside, and it comes down to the elbow, and it's on the inside of the big tendon that's at your elbow. It comes down your wrist, around where the accessory carpal pad, the wrist pad is on your animals. This is the point that decreases anxiety, decreases nausea, goes through the palm of your hand, pericardium 8. And pericardium 8 is the place that we access all of the information from the universe. And it goes to the tip of your third finger. We won't talk about that, but so it goes from there through and here. The other side also, side of the nipple through the armpit to inside the elbow, down the lower part of the arm, through the palm of the hand to the middle finger. This meridian helps to protect, or protect's not the best word. It helps to the heart to function. And to keep your pericardium meridian healthy, you have to stretch and hug around and pull in. So it's this kind of feeling. And I'd like to leave you with that, the role of love in healing. Thanks so much. Oh, and by the way, anyone who wants to send me pictures of your animals via my email, that would be great. And we can talk about them next time. Thanks so much.